Britain and Biafra, the case for genocide examined. This is the irrefutable fact and the figures pointing to the fact that Britain is complicit in genocide. If you're wondering why Biafra is not listed as a genocide case, it's because of this very article, as outlined by The Spectator, a British publication on the 26th of December 1968. That is why you can write the list of genocide all over the world. There will be no Biafra. Do you know who excluded Biafra from the list? Britain, because of the role they played. We have this very article here. It is from the Spectator archive. How Britain committed genocide. How Britain you're looking at is actually as bad as Hitler. Nazi party. We have all the proof here. The only reason why the Nazis were held to account was because the Jews were living in Europe. Biafrans are in the darkest West Africa. Nobody gives a damn about them. It is also in the Bible that they will kill you, you will cry, but nobody will come to your rescue. I am reading from Aubrey Wall's report on the 26th of December 1968, published in the Spectator newspaper of United Kingdom in Great Britain. That very publication outlined the case of genocide against the British Christianity. You must listen very, very carefully. For as long as any Christian, liberal, or humanitarian tradition survives, the year 1968 will be remembered of implementing one aspect of its peacetime foreign policy. That peacetime foreign policy is one Nigeria. Because the British, they are white people. They created Nigeria. Because a white man created Nigeria, who is a black man to try and break it? The world cleverly forgot that there was no Nigeria before the white man came. There was no Nigeria before the British came. Nigeria was created by a white man, not by African people. Your ancestors did not create one Nigeria. Your forefathers did not create one Nigeria. It was a white man, Betule, that came and created one Nigeria. The British government at the time, under Harold Wilson's Labour Party, wanted to maintain this white supremacist approach. We are white people. How dare you black monkeys from Africa try to break something that we created? As I told you before, as I read yesterday from the scriptures, as Britain was committing genocide in Biafra land, British people did not know about it. Till tomorrow morning, ordinary British people don't know what their government did because there was a blanket coverage all the way throughout. No independent media. People like The Spectator or the likes of Frederick Forsyth, who we are reporting, nobody was paying attention to them because BBC decided that we must die. BBC said Biafran people must be killed. How dare you try to stop what we created in Black Africa? Who are you to create Biafra? We are God. Very few people in England have any awareness of the fact that their own country, Britain, was committing atrocity, mass murder in Black Africa. Like most Germans after the war, they will be able to say that they did not know what was being done in their name. British people don't know that their government was killing millions upon millions of people in Biafra land for the sake of the British, ordinary British, so they can be looked upon as God, that they are the creators of everything that they survey. Although photographs of the atrocities being perpetrated in Biafra have appeared in most newspapers, the general impression given by the captions and news coverage is that the children are starving to death as the result of famine brought about by the war. Lies did not begin today. Britain was going about covering their lies. But do you know that the reason why Biafra doesn't come up as a major genocide case is because Britain will be implicated in it? The same way that the world viewed Germans after the whole Nazi debacle is how the world would have viewed Britain. They don't want to be seen as mass killers. So they go about pretending. They go about suppressing the very fact that Biafrans were murdered in their millions. Who killed them? Britain, and go on. Here is irrefutable fact. This very article was written by a white man saying that their country was committing genocide. Britain was committing genocide in Biafra land. Britain is complicit in the death of millions of people in Biafra land, and even their own people know it. BBC will say, oh no, it is people are starving because of famine. We don't suffer from famine in Biafra land. We have rainy season. There is no famine. We have never had any famine in Biafra land before in our history. Never. All of a sudden, there is famine. Not a single newspaper has seen it fit. Even the Spectator was angry. This very white man writing was so upset as to what was happening. Not a single newspaper in England has seen fit to point out that the children are dying as a direct and intended result of a siege which is supported by the British government. When I told you that Britain enforced air, land and sea blockade, it's called a siege, you won't believe me. But here it is being confirmed by white people. This is an article written by a white man in a British newspaper as far back as 1968, reminding the British people that you people are here pretending you don't know what is happening. Your government is killing people in Biafra. Biafran people are dying as a direct result of the blockade of Biafra land by the British. It's very clear for the world to see. Very, very clear for the world to see. And they will pay the compensation for this. We are presenting to you this very evening the irrefutable fact and figures that we did not fight Hausa Fulani, they are nobody. We fought the British. The British enforced a very criminal air, land and sea blockade to stop us from getting food and arms during the war. But Britain was writing to Russia, asking Russia to provide arms to go on. Without the British, we will take over Hausa land in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we take it over. It's the British supporting them. And the evidence is here for the whole world to see. Everybody must have a copy of this. Very, very critical and important. So that when you look at Britain, you know that Britain are killers. When you look at the British government, you know that they are murderers. The same way you view Adolf Hitler is how you should view a British government, because they are also killers.